So this is a video my mom wanted me to make. It is about tardigrades. She wanted me to find one and I eventually found one for her, so this video is for her. You can see this tardigrade in darkfield walking. This tardigrade is from the class Tardigrada and from the order Apochilles. So that is one of the more common ones you usually see in videos. I found this from the roots of moss growing on a tree and moss in the ground, all mashed up and then watered down so that I could get things out of it. You can see it crawling around here with its 8 small legs, and you can see its 2 eye cells. They are single-celled eyes. The eyes are only made up of one cell, one single cell, unlike most eyes on organisms from the kingdom Animalia, which have eyes made up of several eukaryotic cells, though the tardigrade has eyes of only one photoreceptive eukaryotic cell. You can see it climbing up on top of this piece of debris. This is all from the moss that this tardigrade was on. You can see it maneuvering on top of this piece of sediment here. This class of tardigrades has a smooth back, and you can see that smoother back made up of several segments on this tardigrade here. All of those segments has small pigmentation, well, small amounts of pigmentation, I should say, but you can really see those segments and the pigments in Brightfield here, where you can see it climbing around the sediment. It caused a lot of disruption to the sediment since it's so large, especially compared to a lot of other organisms around here. It is a far larger multicellular organism than one like a smaller rotifer or a gastrotrich. It's a lot larger than some of those, like a rotifer from the genus Monogononta. Here you can see it here. I'm having a little bit of an issue with Adobe, so what I am seeing might not be exactly what you're seeing because of the transitions and how they're displayed, but you can see it wedging itself around this dirt and sediment, and a lot of this is natural biomass from the moss and the moss's roots. You can see all of its 8 little legs right now, and the 2 oddly shaped legs at the end of it controlling its back. And I believe this is the order that goes into a ton instead of a cest, which is why its skin is like that. The reason it goes into this ton is so when the water dries up, which it lives on, then when that dries up, it can live in a ton until the water forms back, whenever it forms back, like in the morning, for example, in morning dew from the condensation. And here you can see it with a bdelloid and see the size comparison. This bdelloid is about the same size as the tardigrade. There was actually a larger bdelloid on this slide too, which was actually larger than the tardigrade, but that wasn't a very good comparison since that was a very large bdelloid rotifer. And here it is in darkfield again. You can see it swimming around with that rotifer next to it, but you can see a lot of different colors and different contrasting now in darkfield. You can see it climbing around that piece of sediment. This is with my 4x objective, so you can see just how large this tardigrade is. If this is my 4x objective, it is around 20 times because of the rejection optics on my camera. It would be slightly more than 40 times, so maybe about 42 times about, just for the size referencing. You can see its legs operate, and you can see those single eye cells, which in darkfield appear black on that white and red body of the tardigrade. You can still see it swimming around. Now it's trying to grasp onto some of the sediment around it, but it's so large it's shaking all of that sediment, which makes it hard for it to move in this environment. And here is another example of it alongside a bdelloid rotifer. You can see them on top of each other, but this is with the 10x objective.